Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all having a fantastic morning. I am not, but it is okay. Um, I call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. and we will start with our land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandano Tataviam Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University, Northridge, honors their elders past and present, and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandano Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. Now moving on to roll call.
Vice President Jimeniano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Abrams,
Here.
Senator Arias Gomez,
Here.
Senator Atias,
Here.
Senator Pacilio, Senator Cabrera Figueroa, Senator Contreras,
Here.
Senator Cunan.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Dominguez,
Here.
Senator Garcia,
Here.
Senator Gavino,
Here.
Senator Cachadia,
Here.
Senator Katka,
Here.
Senator Mane, Senator Quiroga,
Here.
Senator Ramirez,
Here.
Senator Umana,
Here.
and Senator Vicente.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Amazing, thank you. We will now move over to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Dominguez?
I move to approve the agenda for October 20th, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Umana, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will approve the agenda unanimously. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. Now moving on to approval of the minutes, is there a motion? Senator Arias Gomez?
I move to approve the minutes for October 13, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Dominguez, is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will approve the minutes unanimously. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. We will now move over to our special presentation, CSUN Funder Outreach with Guadalupe Rivera. You may come up to the podium. There should be a clicker for you. Oh, no? Oh, never mind.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Guadalupe Rivera. I'm in the annual giving department. I'm the annual giving associate, and I manage CSUN Funder. CSUN Funder is our official crowdfunding platform for CSUN. It's think GoFundMe, but it's only for CSUN students. And you can go ahead and go to the next slide. Like I said, it's our crowdfunding platform. Who's eligible to use it? Anybody at CSUN who is associated with CSUN. If you are an individual student and you have a project, but you are not sponsored by a department, or if you're not in a club or in an organization, it's going to be a little bit harder for us to help you, but we can definitely go through different avenues to help that student produce a project. Usually what it entails is you have to have a CSUN Foundation Fund ID, what's called the Fund ID. Think of the CSUN Foundation as a bank, and they're giving you an account, and you have to have an account with them in order to have a CSUN Funder project. Yep. And how long does it take to set up a CSUN Funder? It's really easy. We have a CSUN Funder website. You apply, you get approved, and then we connect your account number to your CSUN Funder. That's how you collect all of your funds. And then we launch your project, and you're all set and ready to fundraise. And usually we tell people to stay under the $10,000 mark. That's a little bit easier to fundraise in a month to 3 month span, but we've had CSUN funders raise up to $95,000, $50,000. It just really depends on the size of your network and the size of your team and how much you guys are marketing your project. Next slide, please. Oh, it's already there. And how do you get the money? Like I said, you have an account with the CSUN Foundation, and then you have to reach out to them up to 3 weeks before you are ready to withdraw those funds. And the CSUN Foundation will walk you through all of the steps to withdraw those funds. Usually when you are in an AS club, you have an account ID already. They set it up for you. And if you're a new club, then you would have to go through a process. If you're an organization, more likely the same process there. But if you're being sponsored by a department, then you do have to take a little bit of extra steps. You have to reach out to your director of finance, your department dean, and ask them for permission to use that fund ID. And then if you're an individual that is not associated with an organization or a club, then we would have to reach out to the CSUN Foundation, reach out to your department, reach out to a club that maybe would sponsor you, and then we would go through that process. What kinds of projects fundraise through CSUN Funder? We have a lot of CTVA thesis projects. We have a lot of IRB approved projects. We have students that are fundraising for things like events and jerseys for their organizations and clubs. We have a lot of athletics teams that go through us. Yeah, so that's a little bit of the people that are up on CSUN Funder right now. Next slide, please. And then a little bit of, tips and tricks is planning ahead, knowing what you're fundraising for, how much money you're going to need, when you're going to need it, how are you going to promote your fundraising page, and who or how many people will help you spread the word. We actually offer a CSUN Funder digital kind of toolkit that we send out to you after you're approved to fundraise. And we send you some guidelines. And then throughout the life of your project, I usually will conduct some marketing trainings through either the MIC, or sometimes I do them myself. I'll send out a Zoom link. There's one coming up actually on the 28th, 3 to 4. So I'll be marketing that and sending that help out to those who need it. Next slide, please. Some more tips and tricks. You have to be clear on what you're fundraising for. Donors, they really want to know what they're supporting. Your donors want to know why they should give, and how your donor will support the impact of your project. Making a video is always a plus. It's always really good to have, someone's face on the project, to pull at those heartstrings of the donors and help them kind of get a better sense of who they're supporting. Utilizing your networks is very important. Making direct asks, calling, texting, emailing, promoting on social media. And then regular updates, when you reach your first $100, when you reach your first 1,000, when you're halfway through your goal, when you're, 3/4 to your goal. And then remembering that we are always available as a resource, and you can always reach out to me and my team for help. And then always remember to thank your donors. Every time you give an update, you have to thank your donors and make sure that they feel appreciated, so that maybe they'll give a little bit more. Next slide, please. And then, yeah, usually I would ask for questions. I don't know if this is a good space, if anyone has questions.
Are there any questions from the board?
But yeah, I can send a follow-up. I can send some flyers. I can drop some flyers off so that we can have them at the USU. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Okay. We will now move over to open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address associated students regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes. Hello, James.
I was waiting for the hello, James. Good morning, Kiri. Good morning, everybody. My name is James Forrester. I serve as the AS Programs Manager. I'm here to provide you all an update on some of our events that are happening this week. So we got a busy week for you, which we're really looking forward to. Our unofficial theme this week is sustainability. So tomorrow on Tuesday at the Farmers Market, we will be hosting our second annual refill and repair program. So the market will be going on its normal time from 10 to 2:30 out on Lindley Avenue right over here. And in Matador Square, we'll be having our refill and repair people come in. So if any of you have any clothing items that have small holes, missing buttons, things like that, you can bring those clothing items. Please make sure they're clean. And you can get it repaired for free at the market, as well as if you have any glass jars or other containers of things that need to get refilled, soap, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, other kind of things like that, laundry detergent, you can bring containers and then fill them up for free as well too. All part of an effort to hopefully continue the reuse of clothing items as well as reduce the amount of plastic that's out there. On Wednesday, out in front of the library lawn from 10 to 2, we'll be hosting our Campus Sustainability Day. So we'll be out there. We have a lot of campus vendors, a lot of campus partners that will be coming out. So it'll be a pretty cool time out in front of the library lawn. Again, 10 to 2, that is our Campus Sustainability Day. There's going to be some free succulents and other cool things that are out there as well too. And then on Thursday is our weekly Thursday thrift program. That is from 10 to 2 out on Baramian Lawn. This is our Halloween themed Thursday thrift. So if any of you have any Halloween costumes that you are not planning to use anymore, they may be left over from last year, or you've already used them this time around, you can bring the costumes, donate them to us, and we can put them out there for other students to use, along with any other clothes that you have that either don't fit your vibe or don't fit anymore. You can bring them to the event and give them to us, donate them, and you can also take a look at some of the free stuff. And then we'll have some other vendors out there too. So big week of programming for us. Keep up to date on the Instagrams for it, but we have refill and repair tomorrow, Campus Sustainability Day on Wednesday, and Thursday Thrift on Thursday. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for open forum?
Good morning, everyone. I am Noshin Saba, and I serve as the chair of the University Student Union Board of Directors, and I'm here with my vice chair,
Rudy Granillo, Vice Chair.
and we are all excited. We both are very excited to join you all. The USCU's mission is to uplift and empower students through leadership development, meaningful opportunities, and inclusive spaces that help every Matador feel very heard, respected, and feel connected to CSUN. And we all know that AS shares the same commitment, advocating for students, by students, and fostering a strong sense of belonging and engagement on campus. So we are very excited to collaborate this year and explore ways where our two organizations can work together to empower students, uplift their voices, and continue building a thriving and inclusive community. Thank you. I'll pass the mic over to my vice chair.
As the chair said, we're here really just to show some support and just wanted to make the appearance to pay some respects and hopefully bridge further the gap or further bridge the gap between us so that way we could work more elbow to elbow. I know this is the first time we're appearing today during the semester, but we're hoping to make more appearances going forward and also to work more collaboratively with your AS president and vice president, not chair. Do y'all potentially have any questions for us? Anything that we can immediately address, or we could just step off and call it a day?
Thank you.
Yeah. Final thought, we do have a grip of these bags we wanted to hand out just for you guys. They have some little goodies, so you guys will get that after the thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Hello, Dr. Watkins.
Well, good morning. Good to see you all. I didn't bring swag and gifts this morning. Sorry about that. Good to see you all. I hope you are surviving the semester well. Most of you have probably at least taken one midterm by now. Yeah, a couple of groans here. hopefully you received an email from me last Wednesday night is when we actually, Wednesday afternoon is when we sent it out. I thought it important for me to come and to talk a little bit more fully about what that message talked about from the very outset of your leadership here. Alvaro and Kiri talked to me and talked to the president about concerns in the space of protest and demonstrations and time, place, and manner and those kinds of things. And that message relates to some of that. And again, wanted to take an opportunity to talk more fully. And in fact, would like to perhaps come back next week with a presentation of some sort so that we can have discussion. So at this stage, I can only, I think, just share information with you. So the message that you received invited students to do two things: to go online and to take some training called the Freedom of Expression training. This is CSU provided training. And it also has a place for you to go on and do an attestation indicating that you have read and are familiar with the Student Conduct Code. Student Conduct Code is familiar to most students. It's something that you're exposed to when you arrive here at the institution. But the background on why we are doing this now is related to Senate Bill 1287, Senate Bill 1287, that was signed by the governor on September 28th, 2024. It's called the Equity in Higher Education Act, and it amends the Education Code Section 66270.7. And that really is a compendium of all of the policies and et cetera, that govern the CSU. That legislation required some very particular things on the part of the UC system and the CSU system. It really was authored in the wake of the protests and demonstrations that were happening on our campus, and really pushed campuses to articulate more clearly a lot of rules and regulations concerning what it is that we expect students to do. But more importantly, it directed us to provide some training. But let me just specify for you the things that we were directed to do. The CSU system was directed to adopt rules and procedures in the Student Conduct Code that provide the following elements: prohibiting violence, harassing, intimidating, or discriminatory conduct, prohibiting conduct that limits or denies a person's ability to participate in or benefit from the free exchange of ideas, establish reasonable content, neutral time, place, and manner restrictions. We're required to publish at the university's internet website time, place, and manner restrictions, to develop mandatory training programs to educate students, and it gives us a list of particulars there. And then to require, as a condition of enrollment in the California State University, that each student attending the campus shall acknowledge the campus's Student Conduct Code. And so the materials that we've put before our student body, and every student here at the institution received that correspondence, is our way of adhering to these requirements. These are not requests. These are certainly directives to the system. The training called CSU Freedom of Expression, and it's kind of an interesting way to identify what it is. It tracks back to the law there, because I know that we're probably going through one of the periods in this country where many of us are questioning what is freedom of expression, what is free speech, given the systems that we are encountering. But the content of that training includes discussion of the First Amendment, time, place, and manner overview, conduct that creates a hostile environment, how to exchange views in an atmosphere of mutual respect and civility, when and where to protest and gatherings and where they may be held on campus, promoting civility and respect in dialogue, and student rights and responsibilities. I really want to ask of you that you go online and take that training. We've had several students take it already, and the reviews were relatively reasonable given training. But I'd love to be able to come back and hear your reactions to that training next week, perhaps again during the course of a presentation, to see whether or not it provides the information you think your fellow students need in order to understand how to express their voices here on our campus in a way that remains in alignment with the CSU policies and expectations. The Student Conduct Code is, again, something that most of you know. You've probably done some presentations around that during orientation and otherwise. But I wanted to, again, come and generally, if you receive a campus-wide message from me in particular, I'm going to try to come and create some space for us to have some dialogue about it. You are very, very important individuals as leaders on this campus to know the kinds of things that are part of the dialogue that we're having with students. And then you are able to, it doesn't have to be in this setting here. All of you know where to email me at and where to find me. But if you come across things that we are actually expressing to our students, we want to invite you either individually or through your leaders who have regular access to us to come forward with that. So again, wanted to just come this morning, speak a little bit about that, invite myself, if I can, to come next week and give a presentation on protest and time, pace, and manner and those kinds of issues so that we can continue the dialogue that we're having here on the campus, okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Watkins. We really, really, really appreciate it. Is there anyone else here for open forum? Okay. We will now move over to reports, starting with mine. Good morning, everyone. I'm surprised I made it on time considering that someone's car broke down in the middle of the freeway while on my way here, and that was not fun. I was stuck there for 20 minutes. But anyway, I started off my week with a meeting with Ron Phillip. We talked very heavily on AI, and we focused more on how a lot of you guys are interested in providing more feedback to make sure that if there is any implementations on CSUN AI policies, that student voices are heard and that the differentiating opinions amongst the students within different colleges is known. So we discussed on how that would work, and he did express interest in hearing more about the survey that I know Senator Gavino is going to be creating, and many of you guys will begin distributing on his behalf and on the behalf of your constituents. So he was very interested in it and was very excited to get the results. So I'm excited to give those to him with Isaac at our next AI task force meeting. I had to reschedule my one-on-one with our executive director. But most of my report is actually regarding CSSA's October plenary for our new senators. CSSA stands for the California State Student Association, and they are kind of the AS for the entire CSU system. I think that's the best way that I can possibly explain it. This October's plenary was actually at CSU East Bay, beautiful campus. I'm so jealous of their view because they are on a hill and they can oversee the whole bay. But anyway, I digress. I sat on the finance committee and we learned that the registrations for CS Unity were up 10%. So that gave a little bit more leeway into how the budget for CSSA will be utilized. So it gave us more money. So we might not have to touch the reserves this year around because of that increase and because a lot of cuts were given to how we did CS Unity. We gave a lot of discount. We got a lot of discounts for other things within the organization. So we're trying really hard to find ways to save money so we don't have to touch the reserves this year. We also are talking about exploring grant opportunities to provide more funding. However, it is hard to maintain and even harder to apply for because no one in the organization is actually we're not grant writers, so we're unsure on how we would go about it. So we are looking more towards exploring an endowment opportunity for CSSA. The endowment would mainly be to cover the scholarships for a lot of our executive our executive officers, that's the president, the three vice presidents, and the chair. That would be more of an opportunity for alumni of CSSA or alumni of ASs to be able to contribute to make sure that student voices continue to be heard statewide and federally and within the CSU system through CSSA. All of this is being done so that we can avoid having to consider a fee increase. So for anyone that doesn't know, CSSA is completely funded by a student fee. Well, mostly funded by student fees. Some of it is from other expenses like registrations for our plenaries, registrations for a lot of our conferences. But the student fee is called SURF, and many of you guys might have noticed there's like a $2 charge that you guys can opt out of at the beginning of the year when you guys are paying for your tuition or just looking at your financial aid. That $2 fee is actually what is given to CSSA to fund the organization. We've noticed that a lot of students opt out of the fee because they don't really know what it is. So a lot of the conversation that we had was how do we increase visibility for CSSA? How do we make sure that students know what the SURF fee is? And we realized that if we want to start anywhere, we should start with our student leaders. And if our student leaders don't know what SURF is and what the $2 charge is for, there's really no way for us to ensure that the rest of the student body knows. So the SURF fee, again, is something that you guys often see and you guys have the opportunity to opt out of. And many students do because it just says student representation fee, and that's about it. There's no really indication of like where the $2 go or how it's being utilized, but because it's in like a small print, it's very hard unless you do like a lot of research and go out of your way to figure out where those $2 are going. A lot of students are just going to be like, I want to save my $2. Like I don't really care. So we're looking on how we can start a campaign to maybe make sure that students know what SURF fee is, but also make sure that admin know, because a lot of the opt-out rates that we have been noticing trend is admin opt-out rates. So admin are the ones opting out for the students. And a lot of you guys, if any of you guys went to do advisement at your first year or your transfer year, many admin might have sat with you guys and looked at your portal and might have opted out of the $2 for you. I realized that I wasn't one of those students, but I did realize that other students were. So the conversation is also how do we make sure that admin are also knowledgeable about this? But that was just finance committee. A lot of my updates are actually from our board of directors. One of them was beginning the campaign to educate students on the SURF fee. I did find out that our student trustee, Carson Fajardo, if any of you guys know him, he used to be ASI president at San Bernardino and will now be serving as the student trustee for the next 2 years. He will be visiting our campus on November 21st. With Trustee Melikar. So that is another trustee that I believe they are the faculty trustees. So it is one lifetime trustee and then one faculty trustee and then the student trustee. All three of them will be visiting our campus on November 21st. And Carson had expressed interest in wanting to meet many of you guys and wanting to meet our cabinet and any other students at larges that would be interested in talking to him about any concerns that he has. So if any of you guys are interested in helping coordinate that meeting and trying to see how we can make sure that it is a fruitful discussion and make sure that all of our points get across, please let me, Vice President Geminiano Aragon, or our Chair Rosales know. So that is November 21st. For legislative updates, I have a plethora of bills that I wanted to give you updates on. So as we all know, SB 98, the immigration enforcement notification in schools, was signed. This was a co-sponsored bill from CSSA. Another co-sponsored bill from CSSA was SB 271, child care support for student parents, was signed. That was a bill that would showcase child care as a basic need for student parents. SB 323, the Student Aid Commission California Dream Act application. It is a 2-year bill and it was signed. The AB 791 Cal Grant cost of attendance requirements for the assembly is also a 2-year bill and it was signed. And all 4 of these were co-sponsored. For support, SB 761, the CalFresh student eligibility. This bill was to make sure that CalFresh was in order to ensure that students' eligibilities were considered through FAFSA applications through the California Dream Act to ensure eligibility for CalFresh. This was unfortunately vetoed by the governor. I'm trying to figure out why. Unfortunately, I don't have any update on that right now. AB 850 Institutional Debt Transparency Act is in the Assembly, and it was also signed, I believe. SB 416 Standardized Financial Aid Offer Letters was also signed, but only for 2 years. So both of these bills were only for 2 years just to see how it will work and make sure that it's being effectively done by, I believe it is the California Student Aid Commission that is going to be overseeing both of these bills. AB 313, the Student Financial Aid Deadline Extension was also signed by Governor Newsom on July 14. And then a bill that was supported by the entire CSU system, AB 977, which would require the CSU in consultation with Native tribes to develop a policy for the reburial of Native American ancestral human remains was signed. So as many of you guys know, many of the CSUs are on Native land. So it is to ensure that our universities, when doing construction or if they find anything in regards to our Native Americans that lived here, that they are then returned to their tribe. Other than that, the policy, I'm so sorry that my report's so long, guys. I was like jotting all these notes and I thought it would be very, very important for all of you guys to know. One of the things that I did want to share with you guys is that CSSA, in order to do any work, does have a policy agenda that they utilize to make sure that we're not only making sure that our initiatives align with our goals and our priorities, but also making sure that anything we do is consistent, but also reflects what the student body needs. And many of you guys were told that if you guys had anything that you believed should be advocated for within the system, within the state, within federal government, to submit a form to add to CSSA's policy agenda. And we did approve this yesterday. So the policy agenda has priority 1, addressing the total cost of attendance for CSU students. It is the rising cost of college can be a barrier for students, and we will ensure that the CSU remains accessible and affordable for all students and ensure access to high quality student support services that address student needs. So one of the changes that was added was also addressing the rising cost of parking and transportation, which was actually brought up by many of us in SoCal. So I'm very excited that this is something that we will be advocating for. Our second priority is to ensure students have access to high quality wellness and mental health support services, starting with support campus and system-wide efforts to increase access to counseling and ensuring students have access to quality and affordable health and wellness services. And our third priority is to ensure that academic success and holistic educational experience of all CSU students, starting with supporting system-wide efforts to enhance diversity, equity, inclusion, accessibility, and belonging, and ensuring students can thrive academically in safe and supportive environments. And our final priority is to foster inclusive engagement for students to find agency in the CSU community, starting with ensuring students are regarded as equal partners in higher education policymaking and strengthening CSU accountability and enhancing partnerships with CSSA for equitable and inclusion co-creation. That was a lot of words. If any of you guys are interested in seeing the actual policy agenda, please let me know. I'm more than happy to send it over, or I can show you guys how to access it through the CSSA website. But obviously, these are going to be priorities and goals that the executive officers will be focusing on. The board of directors and any of the ordinary committees will also be working on, such as finance, the student trustee committee, our legislative affairs committee. These will be our guiding points to make sure that we are supporting our students and focusing on what our students need. That is the end of my report. This is the first time my report has ever gone over 4 minutes, so I apologize. I have one final announcement. Vice President Geminiano Aragon and I will be having a town hall on November 20th just to update the student body on what AS is doing, what we're both doing, and also making sure that if there are any concerns that they believe need to be addressed immediately, that they can also let us know. I invite you all to come and share it with your constituents. We will be distributing a flyer soon. We will be having light refreshments, aka possibly Wingstop. I don't know. But please don't let anyone know. I'm trying to convince Denise to let us do Wingstop. But again, we're not sure yet. Please don't hold me accountable if you guys don't see Wingstop. But other than that, that is the end of my report. Are there any questions? Senator Basilio.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted.
Also, please, Denise, can we get Wingstop?
Are there any other questions on my report? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Senator Mane.
Permission to be recognized.
Granted. Senator Umana.
Can you just kindly repeat the tentative date for your town hall?
It's not tentative. It is now confirmed, November 20th, and it'll be in the Flint Ridge room in the East Conference Center. So, yeah. Are there any other questions? Okay, amazing. If we get Wingstop, I will let you guys know first. We will now move over to Vice President Geminiano Aragon's report.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is okay and had a great weekend. In terms of the town hall, I just want to pick it up from there. It's not only going to be just us two. So if you have office hours within that time frame, you're going to be also at the town hall. And if you want to attend, you're also more than welcome to be as a Senate representative. So, even though, yes, Kiri and I will be there, it's also your town hall. So this is also a great opportunity to connect with constituency, as well as promoting your events. In terms of my report, I conducted my one-on-one with almost all of the senators. If I still haven't had my one-on-ones with you, please make sure that we have finalized when we're going to meet. Great discussion points. Thank you for meeting with me. I hope that the discussion was fruitful. If I promise to give you a contact information on any updates on certain plans, please reach out to me back. I got some updates for you all. As President Sarabia mentioned, we met with the IT department to discuss on how AI is being implemented, as well as the goals and priorities for the year and any updates that they had. Additionally, I sit on the Systems Governance Committee, and we talked about accessibility in the systems. So the CSUN app, for instance, and how we can improve it to make sure that students are aware of the resources and they can also access them easy and in a more centralized way. In terms of CSSA, I sit on the System-Wide Affairs Committee. So our main discussion points were on the AI policy at the CSU level. One of the main things that we talked about is how we can gather student feedback, as we've noticed that within our campus, that's the main thing that has been lacking. How we are able to not only just as a president or as a vice president say what students are feeling, but how can we gather that data to corroborate that what we are saying is how students are feeling. So that's something that I stressed out, the importance of making sure that also within CSSA, we are standardizing the way we are approaching student feedback. Additionally, I also updated everyone on what CSUN's plans are and how we've also been Some of our senators have been working on those surveys. And for any updates, San Diego State University already made their own AI survey, so they have results. So if anyone's interested in knowing what those students said, please let me know and I can get that report for you. It was a great opportunity to network, and we discussed a lot of projects. So there are some plans from CSU Fullerton that I'm excited to possibly bring back to season. President Sarabia and I filmed the Associated Students introductory video for the 2025-2026 administration. You will also be filming your introductory videos hopefully soon, so Sheen will be able to arrange that for us. Okay, so finally, here's your checklist for the week. We will be having Council of Chairs at 11 a.m. today, so make sure that those senators who are chairs must be there. And also, because it falls under the time frame of our Senate meetings, I'm also expecting the vice chairs to be there. Okay, so keep working with your events, personal projects. Everything that you've been doing so far has been great work. So please, if there's anything else that I can help you with, reach out to me and I'll help you with that. Mental Health Mondays is next week on Monday from 12 to 2. So please, we're finalizing those plans and confirming the entities tabling. Once again, if you are available during your office hours, please come out and help me just engage overall in the event. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Vice President's report? Senator Diaz-Gomez?
Do you guys happen to have a time frame for the town hall by any chance?
11 to 1 p.m.
I'm so sorry, I forgot to say that. We will now move over to our Chief of Staff, Bo Burke's report.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hope we're having a good morning. So this was an eventful week for me because we got some of our committees off the ground. So in regards to my general housekeeping duties, I sent out the cabinet report form, sent out the cabinet agenda, and attended both university affairs and external affairs. I hope to see more great work as we work on those referrals. So we had our second DEI committee this week, which I also attended. It was wonderful to see everybody's input, and they're just solidifying their dates for future events. The election committee also had their first meeting, which I was also able to attend. And they established some important dates and went over their committee code and just general expectations. I'm also excited to see what they accomplished this semester. For our cabinet meeting, it was a little shorter this week, but we were able to give reports, and I outlined my goals for the one-on-ones that are coming this week. And then I also gave time for people to ask questions about the cabinet semester outline that was assigned last week. And then that's all for my report. We'll go on to the legislative affairs. So this week he met independently with each of his lobby corps members to establish his meeting time, which will hopefully be solidified for this week. And he also attended the Northridge East Neighborhood Council meeting and was able to share events happening on around CSUN. And then, yeah, for this upcoming week, he hopes to get a time set for his lobby corps meeting. And he's returned from plenary and is excited with new ideas that he got from CSSA. All right, and then on to our Chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This week she had her second DEI committee where they worked on planning their events. She also established the roles for each of her committee members just to solidify what each person has to contribute, and got some headshot photos done. For next week, they have their third DEI committee meeting where they'll continue to work on events. And she also has an introductory meeting with the Muslim Student Association. She'll also be making an itinerary for each of her events. So the campus conversations, the Cultural Unity Showcase, and the grad workshop. And then she just has more interviews for her committee, hopefully getting to that magical 10 number. And then she'll also be making a Flare group chat for her DEI committee. And then on to our Chair of Outreach and Recruitment. So this week she finalized the schedule for the Cabinet and Senate introductory videos. So we should have those coming this week. And worked with AS Marketing to finalize the details for the theme of these videos. She also scheduled more outreach and recruitment and DEI committee interviews, and has worked to find times that work for both the Senate interviews and work with the vice president's schedule. She also worked on updating the AS website and worked with marketing to get the website fully up to date. And then this coming week, she hopes to conduct all those interviews and get those introductory videos all finalized. And then on to our chair of elections. So she had her first committee meeting this week, which I mentioned, where they went over the general expectations and also worked on solidifying their calendar for this coming semester and next semester. And they don't have a meeting set for this week yet, but that's what she's going to be working on. And then she also worked on the elections budget, where she broke it down into areas that she hopes to focus on, and booked a room for her fall event, which will be December 3rd in the Pasadena room. And she's brainstorming ideas to collaborate with AS Productions for her kickoff event. And we'll be meeting with Denise to discuss more events for the fall and then for next semester. And we'll be meeting with marketing to discuss merchandise. And then that's all from our report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the Chief of Staff report? Senator Abrams?
Point of personal privilege.
Granted. Okay, if there are no questions, we will now move over to our Chair of Finance, Tourette's report.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great morning. So starting off with our balance account for supplemental totals as of October 17th. Our STAR balance remains at $191,911. Unassigned contingency is $575,602. Our fill fund is $6,600. Clubs and orgs travel is $22,600. So some work I did over the week. So I had a meeting with the marketing department to create videos promoting funding and resources for students and RSOs. I heavily focused this week on funding requests that I've been receiving and continue to receive. With the help of Denise, we were able to approve over 20 requests and one fill fund request. And speaking of the Phil Fund, shout out to Kappa Kappa Gamma for utilizing the philanthropy fund to raise money for the JED Foundation and the PATH Foundation. Yes, a clap is fine. As for the Finance Committee, so we had our second meeting last week, which went very, very well. Unfortunately, I did have to leave early because I had a midterm, but I left it in the hands of my assistant chair, Guna, which I heard was it went very well. So yeah, shout out Guna as well. As for upcoming events, so far this Wednesday, we will be filming our cabinet introductory video. So be on a lookout for that and for me, because I'll look pretty. Now moving on to the Assistant Chair of Finance's report. Last week, we had our second Finance Committee meeting, which went very well. Huge thanks to Lionel and Vicky for their support. Chair Emily and I met with the marketing department to discuss informational videos on financial resources. I also attended the University Affairs cabinet meeting, and I continue to work on the legislative referrals. That's all I have. Thank you so much. Oh, and also last Thursday, my club, the women's rugby, had a fundraiser at Shake Smart, and I saw many of you guys went. So really, just a huge thank you guys, because those donations go a long way. So yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We will now move over to our standing committee reports because our Attorney General is still going through onboarding. And we will start off with the amazing External Affairs Committee with our amazing Chair Gavino.
Thank you for that. I don't know about amazing, but good morning, everyone. In committee, we have our 3 referrals. Our first one, the AI referral, will be hopefully finalizing our survey questions this week, trying to keep it short, trying to keep it unique as to some of the questions that have been asked from some of the other surveys that have been going around campus. We'll definitely talk to Dr. Philip on that. It's good that he's interested about the kind of feedback that we can bring to the table. Our other referrals are following up on some of the past external resolutions. We're getting to work on that. And then the other one is community relationships, which kind of regards some of the public entities around the Northridge area, including the Northridge East Neighborhood Council. As you heard in the report, Chair Rosales attended one of those meetings, and he'll be reporting back on Wednesday. So very excited to see where we can go with that. Yeah, that's all for my report. If you want to stop by the meeting, it's on Wednesday at 4 p.m. in the USU Executive Boardroom. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now, or are there any questions on the amazing Chair Gavino's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our beautiful Internal Affairs Committee with our beautiful Chair, Basilio.
Good morning, everyone. So last week we had, some good discussions on the referrals currently on our committee, which are standardized follow-through AS committees, promotion, appointment biographies, President's Code, increase in senator stipends, and revisiting Council of Chairs. Regarding the referral I just mentioned, along with the appointment biographies referral, they require some code changes, which should be coming to Senate in about 2 weeks if everything goes well. So, yay! The Amatu House, the Black House, and the Women's Research and Resource Center have all been notified of the $5,000 allocation from our budget per the SB 24-25-006 Call to Uplift Cultural Houses and Resource Centers resolution. And I am personally in contact with Dr. Freddie Sanchez regarding the funding for the Chicano House, and we'll also be talking to the director of La Casita later today. On our increase in senator stipends referral, most of the committee has sent their emails and have had their meetings with the various CSUs they were assigned to. So we should start to move along with more data soon. And if you'd like to contribute to discussion or just listen in on our meeting, please do so tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the USU Executive Boardroom. Yay!
Thank you. Are there any questions on the beautiful Chair Basilio's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our incredible University Affairs Committee with our incredible Chair Umana.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is well. University Affairs currently has 4 legislative referrals, or should I say 3 now. University Affairs has decided to table legislative referral 2025-26-008 building checkups. We tabled this referral due to the wording. We will work on resubmitting a new one, hopefully with the help of Senator Ramirez and Senator Arias Gomez. Shout out to you guys. For legislative referral 2025-26-010 parking availability signs, I do have a meeting tomorrow with Director of Parking Services. Going back to legislative referral 2025-26-008 building checkups, the legislative referral was tabled indefinitely. Just giving you guys an update. For legislative referral 2025-26-010 parking availability signs, like I said, tomorrow I have a meeting with Director of Parking Services, Emmanuel Campos. I invited members of my committee to attend this meeting with me, and I am looking forward to some meaningful discussion tomorrow. We're also awaiting a meeting with physical plant management to discuss the custodial fees referred in legislative referral 2025-26-009, subsidizing student club custodial fees. As you guys can see, all hands are on deck right now. I will also be attending Council of Chairs later on today with the other chairs and vice chairs. University Affairs Committee meets every Thursday at 4 p.m. in the Executive Boardroom. That's all for my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the incredible Chair Umana's report? And Senator Abrams?
Motion to be recognized.
Granted. Okay, if there are no questions, we will move over to our Executive Director Allen's report given to us by the amazing Tim Shapatsky.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm just going to give some updates for you for the last week. We are continuing our strengths training with our staff. We look forward to the spring semester when we start rolling it out more for our students, and working with you all with our strengths committee, which has Kevin Mojarati, James Forrester, and myself on there. So if anyone's interested in joining us, please reach out. Quick recap on Assestival. I want to give a shout out to Daniel and the marketing team for their amazing poster that they put up. There were 15 different departments that shared all of the assessment and stuff that they did for our students this year. I also want to give a shout out to Daniel on completing the Student Affairs certification on planning and leading assessment. So give him a little round of applause there. A couple of upcoming events. This last Friday, we had the senior leadership retreat that focused on emotional intelligence for the individual, and then we will be moving into team emotional intelligence. I thought that was a good time for our team to sit and reflect on each other and have some real candid and open conversations. January 6th, we will have our managers retreat when we return from break. And then something on your calendar to put is January 14th, 2026 will be AS Reboot Camp. So, and all of our entire organization will be together for that. Update on our CSU compliance audit. This is something that happened in the spring semester. So what normally happens with audits is in student affairs positions like auxiliaries, is they'll group them all together with the university corporation, the TUC, us. This last year, it was just focused on us. And we had some findings that we are working on and attempting to tighten up and close. As part of that audit was some policies that we need to update, which we've been doing well with. We've already completed a few policies. We have a few people working on a couple of policies right now, but we're also interested to see if you all would like to be part of those. We'll have Hannah probably sometime this week send out a Google form if you are interested in sitting down and working with some staff on reshaping policies and procedures that go on with it within Associated Students. So be on the lookout for that. The Children's Center audit. So AS as an organization goes through a financial audit every year. And then our Children's Center goes through a separate audit with the state of California every year as well. So our 23-24 audit ended up getting pushed back and delayed due to a couple of other audits. But we're happy to say that it has been submitted to the state of California, and we will be now moving on to the 24-25 audit. I want to give a shout out to Lionel, Terry, Melanie, and Danny in accounting, and a shout out to Lena, Nicole, and Jarette in the Children's Center for working long hours trying to complete all of the requests that the auditing firm has asked for. Coming up, or actually starting today, is Walktober. It's put on by the campus. So if you are interested in walking and joining a team and moving your competitiveness on your strengths from really low to really high, come join a team. Our executive director, Vicky, is already out recruiting people to be on her team. So if you want to join a team, I'm going to walk. If we want to make a team, find out and find me and we'll join a team. This Saturday is the Distinguished Alumni Awards on Saturday, October 25th at the Skirball Center. So we have 7 people from AS going. So if you did not have an opportunity, it'll happen next year. So if you were around and part of the board, we'll put that out again. And I just want to recognize a couple staff members' birthdays this year, or for October, sorry, this year. I could name off all 40, but I won't do that. So how about just for October? Our outdoor adventure coordinator, Joey Cortez, our accounts receivable, Jenny Doan, and our government secretary, Madeline Moss, all celebrate October birthdays. So for this week in sport clubs on October 23rd, nope, is that us? That's us, right? Okay. Cool. Just making sure this is us and not someone else. Is we have games for our volleyball team versus Long Beach. And then for those that are not attending the Distinguished Alumni Awards this coming Saturday and want to support our teams, the men's soccer plays this Saturday at 12 p.m. And then Saturday night, it's an evening game. So if you're a late owl, the men's hockey team will be also playing. So that is all we have for this week. I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the executive director's report? Hello, Vicky. Okay, we will move past our university advisors report. Past unfinished business, past new business, because we did not have anything to add, guys. So sorry. Into information items, starting with our humanities senator Abrams report.
Hello, just a few updates on my end. I have continued to get the ball rolling on my personal project, which Kimberly and I share. So our personal project. I have discussed the possibility of letting students sit in on not just like general college classes, but also maybe even my own personal SI course, which I spoke to my supervisor about, and she said that it was possible I could also discuss maybe like a University 100 class to sit in on. So that's great stuff. So we could perchance let students in on both of those. And we will be scheduling a follow-up meeting with our dean to discuss those options and whether or not we've gotten clearance on the policy side of things. In the meantime, for internal affairs, we've started to meet with different executive directors who are within associate students at other colleges. I met with Barnaby Peak, who is the ASI executive director for CSU Los Angeles. He expressed interest in whether or not our findings for this referral would be published, maybe in like CSSA. So I figured I could bring it up to you both, see if that's something that you could do. He also expressed interest in like having the knowledge that we find from other colleges himself. So I think the next time I meet with someone, he was the first person I met with. I'll ask them if they're okay with me sharing that information and, you know, that sort of thing. So that is all for my updates.
Amazing, thank you. In regards to your referral, if you guys would like us to share it with CSSA, it would technically go to system-wide. So if you, it would technically go to system-wide. Just because if there's system-wide committee is where CSUN shares everything that we're working on and everything that we want to share with the rest of the board. So that would be brought up in system-wide and then possibly shared with the board of directors after. So if you guys are interested, your internal affairs, if you guys aren't interested in having that shared with CSSA, you guys can definitely make kind of like a doc with all of that information and then give it to our vice president to present to the vice president of system-wide. But are there any questions on the senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Arts, Media, and Communications Senator Gavino. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Sorry, it's supposed to be our Business Senator at the S.
Good morning, everyone. For my report last week, my co-senator and I met with our dean. It was my first meeting with them, and we finalized our town hall event that will take place this Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. We also have 2 more upcoming town halls, so it's really exciting. During the meetings, I shared a few events ideas that I plan to keep developing, And for my personal project, I started my research and I'm planning to keep making progress over the next few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the senator's report? Where will your town hall be?
It's going to be, you know which room? B3107.
Will you have Wingstop?
No.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I tried. We will now move over to our Arts, Media, and Communication Center convenience report.
There we go. Now it's on time. Yeah, so I've talked a lot about the AI task force and my work with them and the work with the survey and the potential AI town hall. So I won't share too much on that, but yeah, looking forward to finalizing that survey this week or early next week and getting it out as soon as possible so we can have a longer window for students to respond. I will talk about the custodial fee referral and just why I submitted it. I'll just read from here. I recently submitted a referral requesting that AS cover the custodial fees that student organizations incur when booking classrooms on campus. These fees essentially place a financial cap on holding large meetings regularly, like weekly. Some cultural clubs use the USU rooms, but they also have to pay because of the staff that's required to be there. Yeah, these fees essentially place a financial cap on holding large meetings regularly, requiring clubs to potentially cap their regular membership or otherwise restrict them from growth or having larger meetings. For cultural clubs specifically that cross like a variety of majors and colleges and have usually a larger student population, these fees can be detrimental to their active membership ability to provide resources to these students and require clubs to charge their members for membership. So yeah, I think it's something that AS could definitely do. We have a lot of money in our unassigned contingency, and I think moving it along to supporting our student clubs in an even further way would be useful. Attended a couple events for my college, met with my dean again, kind of the same old, but otherwise going well. My event has been pushed to November just because of the lack of a room, but I'll get more information next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move over to our Education Senator Quiroga's report.
Hello, y'all. Good morning. Just a quick update. I had my Senate event last week no, not last week, 2 weeks ago on the 8th. It was very fun. A lot of people came up to me and just asking questions. The dean, interim dean Hayashi asked me to speak at the event. So I got to speak to everybody, introduce myself to the entire college. A lot of people came up to me afterwards like, your speech was so good. I'm like, thanks, I know. But overall, it was very great. It was a really good experience for me to go and talk to all the people in the education department. Talked about stuff for my master's and stuff like that. So it was really great. I'm still waiting to hear back from the department chair of deaf studies for my personal project in implementing a deaf studies minor here at CSUN. She referred me to somebody else to talk to, so I have to email them as well and hopefully get some sort of meeting to get this going. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great week, and that will be it.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the senator's report? Okay, we will now move over to our Health and Human Development Senator Contreras report.
All right, thank you. So for our Senate event, it is with my co-senator Umana. It's going to be on November 18th. So if anyone wants to support, more details about it will probably most likely be shared by my co-senator right now. We submitted the planner report on time, and we'll be preparing the room and the AS marketing form for it to be promoted. I am also developing a newsletter, as I mentioned in my last meeting. I'm finished with the questions for the departments. Now I just need to finish questions for like student clubs, organizations. I did meet with my dean and intern dean along with my co-senator. My intern dean, while we waited for our dean and Eddie to arrive, we did speak about my personal project, and the interim dean did recommend that we should not do emails for my newsletters just because students don't read their emails, even though we're in university now, but people still don't read their emails. So we're probably trying to do like social media or just any creative way so it can reach students. And then for the standing committee, I am part of the internal affairs committee, and I was supporting the Senate bill for uplifting cultural houses, and I contacted the Women's Resource Center, and they're aware of the funding they have from AS. And recently for any advocacy, I recently learned from my public health class for my minor that there's a research journal that we can't access and they have trouble every semester. And my professor tries with the library every semester and they always give her the same alternative. So I am contacting her to see if she would like to do a legislative referral. So probably University Affairs will have a referral soon. And then for my office hours, again, I met with the dean and intern dean. And they did say a lot of ideas. We want to put like a poster in all the buildings so people can know us. And lastly, I'm meeting with, I'm joining the committee to choose an associate dean for our college. So that will be also very exciting. And that is it for me. And sorry for the long report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we'll move over to our other Health and Human Development Senator, Umana's report.
Hey again, everyone. So some updates from the last time I did my report. So like Senator Contreras said, we met with both of our deans, Dr. Michelle Best and Dr. Nathan Martin. During the meeting, we basically threw out like a lot of ideas. And one of their ideas was for the senators of the College of Health and Human Development to kind of just do their office hours like on site, like in the buildings, like where our constituents are. So I actually did my office hours last week at Sequoia Hall, and I was able to speak to some students. I even learned that the College of Health and Human Development has an interior design major. I got to speak to some of my constituents who were in that major. As far as our Senate event, Pizza with the Dean, it's going to be kind of like a mix of like a town hall, meet your administrators, kind of just mingle with other majors within the college. Right now, we are in the process of marketing that, getting the flyers out. For my personal project, I actually have a meeting tomorrow morning with Christina Bernstein. She's kind of the planner for the Corporate Connect field trips. So I'm trying to see if we can kind of get like a trip going to the LGBT Center in Hollywood. I would really want that for our LGBT students, but also for anyone else who might be interested. For standing committee, like I mentioned in my report, University Affairs is very busy right now. And I will be attending Council of Chairs later on today. And yeah, it's been pretty busy, pretty fun. That's it for my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the senator's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we will move past discussion items into legislative referrals. I have one by Senator Basilio titled Meet with All AS Departments. The request is to meet with all AS departments to assess their needs and wants or areas they'd like to improve. The goal is to use this information to help advocate for these departments with better understanding. This was suggested to go to internal affairs. I will send it over to internal affairs. I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure that you guys don't have too much to do, as this, I believe this is your 8th referral. It's the 7th, so I would like to not add to your plate. My apologies. Next is also from Senator Basilio, titled Investigating CSSA CSU Undocumented Student Advisory Council Proposal. The request is to have the committee find out more information or follow up on the CSSA resolution from March 2025 that called for the creation of the system-wide advisory council. This was suggested to go to external affairs, and to external affairs it will go. Okay, that was the last of our legislative referrals. Again, you guys are more than welcome to submit your legislative referrals up until the middle of November, as after the middle of November, you guys will all have to figure out what will happen to all the referrals, whether it's going to be tabled or you will reintroduce it the next semester, as all referrals need to be finalized by the end of the semester. Just a point of information. And we will now move over to announcements. Are there any announcements from the board? Senator Basilio.
Yes, hello. We missed a small update for our event, which is called Mix It with Humanities, period. It's November 10th, no, 11th, November 11th from 1 to 3. And we don't have a location just yet, but it will be in Jerome Richfield. Yay!
Thank you. Are there any other announcements from the board? Senator Gavino?
Hi, so as you all know, it is still Filipino American History Month, and every Filipino American History Month, the CSUN Filipino American Student Association has an event called Students for Filipino American History Month, or SPAM for short. This year it will SPAHM. This year it will be at the Chicana House in the La Casita. So it'll be outdoors, indoors. There will be vendors, performers, speakers from the Filipino American community, student community outside of the school as well. It'll be a great event. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on October 25th. So stop by. It's free to the public. So.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements from the board? Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Okay. Yeah, so I have three really quick. So next week on the 28th is my college event. We'll be having more than a major in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. That'll be from 11 to 1 in the Witset room, which is Sierra Hall 451. If you're interested in learning about what other minor options there are for your degrees, if you're interested in anything involving the social and behavioral sciences, psychology, political science, social work, we have anthropology, Africana studies. There is a wide diversity. So if you're interested, please join us October 28th, 11 to 1. November 2nd, which is a Sunday, that same week, we'll be having Bike Fest returning to campus for the 4th annual year. That will be on campus from 10 to 2, but there will be group bike rides starting at 8 a.m. if you are interested. Feel free to join us. Feel free to invite any students you know, and that please share with constituents that first-time, full-time freshmen that attend and have a major in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences are eligible for a $1,000 scholarship to help with their sophomore year. Final announcement, this week, I'm hopefully going to finish the creation of a Metro survey in collaboration with Senator Garcia and 2 other student clubs on campus. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements from the board? Senator Carca?
Since everyone's announcing their event, I'm gonna announce mine too. It's gonna be a collaborative event with the math department. It's their open house, so my Senate event is gonna be in Friday, October 25th, 4th, I believe, and it's gonna be the open house is from 11 to 3, but I'm only gonna be there for like 2 hours from 11 to 1. So, yeah, and then I also wanted to say Happy Tihar or Diwali. And what else? Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements from the board? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if any of you guys are free on the 25th, please, please, please go support one of our sports clubs. It is a great opportunity for you guys to see one of the departments that Associated Students helps support in many, many different ways. And they're all really, really cool. Not as cool as women's rugby, but they're all really cool. But yeah, if there are no other announcements, we will move over to our final roll call.
Vice President Jimeniana Aragon.
Here.
Senator Abrams.
Here.
Senator Arias Gomez.
Here.
Senator Atias.
Here.
Senator Basilio.
Here.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Here.
Senator Contreras.
Here.
Senator Cunanan.
Here.
Senator Dominguez.
Here.
Senator Garcia.
Here.
Senator Gavino.
Here.
Senator Cachadia.
Here.
Senator Katka.
Here.
Senator Mane.
Here.
Senator Quiroga.
Here.
Senator Ramirez.
Here.
Senator Umana.
Here.
Senator Vicente.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I adjourn this meeting at 10:19 a.m. Yay! It was a short meeting.